Good morning, all. Sarah, સંભળાય છે? સ્ક્રીન દેખાડો. શેર સ્ક્રીન ઓપ્શન ક્યાં છે આમાં? શેર કન્ટેન્ટ. ઓકે. So, in the previous class, we started with Sadharan Ras. Am I audible? Sadharan Ras is a group mentioned by Rasratna Samuchay, and it is mainly useful for Rasasiddhi. Rasasiddhi means the different procedures related to Paran or mercury. There are 8 drugs as we have mentioned in the previous class: Kampila, Gauri Pashan, Navsadar, Kapardika, Vahnijar, Giri Sindur, and Hingul. Last one, Rudashrum. Out of them, 2 are mercury compound. One is red oxide of mercury, and one is cinnabar or mercuric sulfide. One is lead oxide, that is Rudashrum, whereas one is from arsenic group, that is Gauri Pashan. We have already finished Kampilak, Gauri Pashan, and Navsadar in previous class. Just let's have a quick recall. Kampilak is monkey face tree, Melotus philippinesis. It is mainly used as Rechan or Rechak, purgative. Sushruth has mentioned in treating tumors. Bhav Prakash has cited to be useful in bleeding, diabetes, and urinary stones. Whereas Dhanvantri has mentioned in flatulence, worms, constipation, and ascites. It looks like Istika Churna, that is Istika Churna Sankasha Chandrika Adyo Atirechana. Saurashtra Deshe Cha Utpanna Sa Hi Kampilaka Smrutaha. So there are at least 2 drugs which are given name by the area Saurashtra. One is Kampilak, Saurashtra Deshe Cha Utpanna, and likewise Saurashtri, that is Elam, Kankshi. We have already studied in previous classes. There is possibility of adulteration because Kampilak churna is somewhat expensive as compared to the brick powder. So many a times they mix up some adulterations like ferric oxide or brick powder or Garrick with Kampilak churna. So there are a few identification tests. First one is it is soluble in cold water. It is insoluble in cold water but soluble in hot water. When it is put on the water, it should float. If some adulteration is there, it will be settled down because, for example, brick powder will settle down. It cannot float over the water. And by rubbing against a white paper, it will leave dark yellow stain. It is inflammable. When put on fire, it catches readily. It is soft to touch as compared to brick powder. Microscopic examination or magnifying lenses will show pollen. And on chemical analysis, rotlearine crystals or volatile oil can be seen. There are few compounds where Campylux churna is used. Crimigni vati, Campylux churna, Campylux tail, Campylux malhar, and Brahmi grit. Dose is 2 to 8 grams with honey or jaggery as rechak. Specially, it may be used as a rechandravya with Panchkarma procedure. According to research, is rotlearine is considered as marker for Campylux, and samples from Dehradun had maximum contents of rotlearine, so it should be preferred. Number two drug was Gauri Pashan As2O3, that is king of poison. Because of acute poisoning of Gauri Pashan, these are the symptoms: vomiting, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and diarrhea with bleeding. Sublethal dose can lead to convulsion, cardiovascular problem, inflammation in liver or kidney, and abnormality in coagulation of blood. And there is a specific white line one can observe on the nail, that is known as Mees lines, and hair will be lost. When it comes to chronic poisoning, there are two types of poisoning as we all know. One is acute poisoning, other is chronic poisoning. So chronic poisoning of arsenic is known as arsenicosis. Arsenicosis. Mostly it is due to drinking water or the food which contains high amount of arsenic or similar sources of arsenic. Here is the picture. Arsenic poisoning. Mostly it is seen on the feet and palm. There are many synonyms of Gauri Pashan: Shankhamusham, Shankhavisham, Gauri Pashanakam, Darumusham, Darusha, Darumochascha, Mallaka, Fenashma Bhasma Sangyascha, Somalaha. We must learn at least two of them, that is Somal and Gauri Pashan. Likewise, Shankhavisha. Shankha, that is conch, which is white in color. Likewise, Gauri Pashan is also whitish in color. There are mainly two types. One is Shweta, another is yellowish. Shweta Shankhava, which is artificial. Whereas what we get from the mineral sources, it is somewhat yellowish in nature. Sometimes the Dadi Mab, Paravat Sambhav, that is natural. Grahya Somal Lakshan, it should be white, heavy, looks like wheat flour but heavier, odorless, tasteless. Shodhan is done with the help of Karvelak, bitter gourd, and we remove the seeds of bitter gourd from inside and then put Gauri Pashan churna inside and then go for Swedan. Swedan with mainly with Karvelak juice, that is bitter gourd juice, or Tankandrav or Kanji. These are the three liquids mainly used for Gauri Pashan or Somal Shodhan. And Maran is done with the help of Suryakshar and Hastidan powder. We go for Sharav Samput. Dose is the least in the Shastra, that is only 1 milligram. So for fixing the dose, we can use sugar candy 100 or 1000 times and divide accordingly. And lethal dose is 1 ratti, that is 125. 125 milligram of Somal is lethal dose. And one should not take any amla, lavan, katu ahar when he is on any of the arsenic preparation. He should avoid spicy foods, packet food, and the food which contains preservatives. There are few yoga which are very popular in the market: Mallavati, Malsindura, Malachandrodai, Jwarankush Ras, Chandreshwar Ras, and Somal Malham. Nausar or Nusagar. The third drug, what we have learned so far, and ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. Mainly it is used for bronchodilator effect as expectorant with cough syrup, or it can be used to uh, nullify the acidic effect, especially in this summer season. So it is used for many of the alkalizer preparations. There are synonyms like Nausar, Nausadar, Nausagar, Nursadar, Chullika, Lavan, Kitsar, etc. Artificially, it can be prepared in the lab as well, whereas the brick is prepared, or we can use Karira or Pilu plants. When they are burnt, we can obtain the Nausadar by standard method of Shar, what you might have learned in Vaishajya Kalpana. Taste: if we add Nausadar powder into water, it will become cool. When heated, it emits pungent smell, very typical smell like ammonia gas. When it is put on hot charcoal, it burns, giving garlic-like odor. So we should go for Shodhan if we have prepared it with the other different methods. Ashud Nausadar should be dissolved in the water, filtered with cloth, and Tivragni should be given. And at the end, we will get white color powder, as you can see in the picture. There are some the very commonly used yoga is Shwet Parpati. One more is Shankar Dravak and Rohitakadya Grit. Rohitakadya Grit is mainly for spleen and liver disorders. So the next drug in this list, in this group, is Kapardika, Varatika. The picture which you can see in this slide is of Gelusil. Gelusil is known as antacid. You might have seen the commercials on TV, which is known as one of the best antacid in the allopathic group. Maybe before 7 8 years, a product came in the market by Himalaya Drug Company known as Himcosid, which almost covered half of the market procured by Gelusil, which was a antacid syrup of allopathy, and this is purely Ayurvedic syrup. And guess what? What does it contain? It contains Varatika or Kapardika Basma. As you can see nowadays, it is available in three different flavors like banana, mint, and soft. There are few more products for immediate relief of acidity. As you can see, Gasex, Gasofast, Eno, many of them contains Kapardika Basma. Kaparda in Gujarati it is known as Kodi. As you can see, it is used mainly for ornamental purpose. In olden days, it was most widely used worldwide as exchange money or shell money. It is most abundant in the Indian Ocean. It was collected in the Maldives Island, Sri Lanka, Malabar coast, that is around Chennai, in Borneo and other East Indian islands, and variety and various part of African coast, right from Ras Hafun to Mozambique and Mauritius. It was very important at one time or the other in trade networks of Africa, South Asia, and East Asia in probably 1,000 year back when there was no international exchange. For example, these days we use euro, pound, or dollar as international money. Those days, this cowries or kapardika was used as trade network, or exchange of money. There are many synonyms of Kapardika like others: Kaparda, Kapardaka, Kapardika, Varata, Varatika, Bal Kridanak. Now, this Bal Kridanak is very interesting. Bal means child, Kridanak means to play. The child play with this. That's why Bal Kridanak. Ideal Kapardika. What kind of Kapardika we should procure? According to Rastarangini, दीर्घवृन्ता सुवर्णवर्णा पृष्ठे च ग्रन्थिता तथा सार्धेक शाण प्रमिता वराटी कथितोत्तमा शाणोन्मिता मध्यमा च शाणात अर्ध प्रमिता अधमा. That means the best quality of kapardika is which has dirghavrunt, suvarna which is golden, prushthecha grandhita which has granthi on prushtha, and it has weight of around 18 gram. So best is 18 gram which has knots granthi observe in the side and with oval shape and with suvarna golden color. And adama kapardika is of 6, 4 or 3 grams. As you can see in the one picture, there are different varieties of kapardika we can see. So smallest one is not good, the bigger one are good for medicinal purpose. Uses: mostly it is used for different type of abdominal complaints to treat GI tract disorders, abdominal pain, bloating, flatulence, duodenal ulcer, loss of appetite, irritable bowel syndrome. Now, this irritable bowel syndrome has become worldwide problem. Every fourth or fifth person is suffering with IBS. Forget this COVID-19 crisis; it will go very shortly. But this IBS is because of our dietary habit, and it will long last or probably last forever. So to treat IBS, Kapardika Basma is very much useful. It can be used to treat otorrhea. Otorrhea means oozing from ear. So when there is oozing from ear, we can dust the powder of Kapardika. Now comes Kapardika or Varatika Shodhan. How do we do that? Most of the marine products we go for Swedan. Swedan with kanji for 3 hours. For example, even for shakha, we can go for Swedan with kanji in Dolayantra. Once it is purified, we can wash it with lukewarm water and then it is dried. Or we can use Kulatthakvat, or we can use Amlavaga Dravya or Nimbu Kamla. Either of the available Dravya we can use and we can go for purification. Because mostly cowries or varatica is collected from marine area and it may have sand, it may have some algae over them, so it should be purified. Chemically it is CaCO3, calcium carbonate. For basma we go for, we take a sharav and then sandhipandan is done and a heavy temperature, that is gajaputa, is given. When it is swangshit, it will be converted to powder and triturated with aloe vera juice. If required, we can go for second put. But normally it is done with one or two, maximum two put gajaputa, and we can get kapardika bhasma. But here I would like to mention that it will not pass the varitar bhasma pariksha. It will sunk in the water because it is a calcium product. It will not have same bhasma pariksha like the metals what we use, like gold, silver, copper or iron. And this is the picture of Kapardika Basma, whitish powder, as we can see in the slide. When we go for analysis of Kapardika Basma, we will get calcium maximum, and along with calcium, it will be having some organic carbon and some other compounds like sodium, sulfur, boron, and copper in ppm. But mainly it contains calcium in oxide form. It has karma, dipana, vrishya, netrya, rasayan, shukrakara, doshahari, etc. Dosh prabhav is kaphavatagna. Now this is very interesting. It can be used for pitta disorders as well. But with dosha prabhav, it can be used for kapha and vata as well. The dose is around 2 rati. We can use it for 250 milligram to maximum 500 milligram. Can be given with different anupan as required according to the complaint of the patient. For example, if we are using for mandagni, it can be used with rikatu churna. If it is used for IBS, it should be used with udumbar swaras. There are few medicines which contains kapardika basma, agni kumar ras, kapardika ras, grahani kapat ras, pradarantak ras, praval panchamrit ras, rajmrugank ras, and kamduda ras. You must have remembered this praval panchamrit ras and kamduda ras because we have already covered in our ras yog chapter as well. The next drug is again a marine product, agni jar. Agni jar or amber grease. As we can see in the slide, different size and shape of agni jar. Mainly it is obtained from well. There was an interesting news in newspaper. Thane crime branch arrests 3 men for smuggling whale's vomit worth 20 crore. 2020 crore. What was that? Whale's vomit. What is whale's vomit? It is ambergris. What we have seen in previous picture, ambergris. Why it is so much expensive? It is known as floating gold. If anyone is interested to learn more about amber, there are number of sites available. Why it is so much useful or expensive? You just go on Google and search for you the perfume and ambergris. You will find a number of perfumes, number of branded perfumes, so called different world class brands. And do you know how much it cost? This is a Tom Ford. Tom Ford is an international brand for perfume. And this 50 ml of Tom Ford private blend out mineral you the perfume spray cost around 16 to 19,000 rupees only for 50 ml, 50 ml. And the main ingredient of this perfume is amber, what we are learning right now. Amber is known as vomit of whale. If anyone is interested to learn about it, it is available since years. It is used as Sugandhi or Surabhi Dravya. It is mentioned in different Manusmriti and Purana Granth as well. Physically, it is solid, very light in weight, water insoluble, evaporates on boiling, and it has very typical smell. If fresh from the ocean, damp, moist with a soft, spongy texture and strong marine or bad odor. If dry, then form and fibrous texture with some give to it and very light in weight. And ambergris is never fibrous. Varieties as you can see in this picture, and this is purified amber powder. How to identify? I tell you, ambergris is available. Sometimes we get it on the coastal area, right from Dwarika to Somnath. Sometimes it is available. If it is somewhere on the coast, you will feel the smell even from the distance of 500 meters. It is so aggressive. It has having so aggressive smell. It is solid on breaking, magnet-like effect on rubbing of two pieces. This is very typical magnet-like effect on rubbing of two pieces. It is water insoluble and other fragrances. It is alcohol soluble. It is very highly inflammable, liquefies on water bath. It is tasteless and sticks to teeth on chewing. If anyone is interested, you can go to ambergris.fr for more details. Coming back to the Rasratna Samuchay part, it is mentioned in Rasratna Samuchay that Samudrenagnikrasya Jarayu Vairujjitah Sanshusco Bhanu Tapena So Agnijara iti Smruta. Agnikrasya. That means it was believed in Rasatna Samuchay area that it is obtained from the Jarayu of a specific Samudra Prani. When it is fresh, it is blackish, darkish black in color and converts up to white. It can be easily adulterated with compound of oak moss and variety of fungus which can be converted to ambergris like odorant, and mainly it is used for the perfume purposes. It has different organic compounds like ether insoluble cholesterol or ketones, free acids. If anyone is interested to learn or to go for a career in the fragrances, he should go for this detail. For us, it is used in Rasashastra, it is used for Abrak Dravan. According to Rasarnav, Abrak Dravan. When we are preparing Abrak Druti, ambergris is used for Abrak Dravan. It has Tridoshagna property, it is Vatahar Ushnavirya, and it can be used up to 31 to 62 milligram. But as I mentioned earlier, it is very much expensive. So nowadays it is not used as medicine anymore because this 31 to 62 milligram will cost a lot. There are few compounds mentioned in Rasatna Samuchay, Chintamani Ras, Brihatva Chintamani Ras, Jahar Mohra, or Vadavanal Ras. But nowadays we are using Trikatu or other Ushnavirya Dravya instead of ambergris. The next drug in the list is Giri Sindur. It is known as Sipi Chand in Hindi, red oxide of mercury. It is, however, not much used as medicine. Available in two different types, artificial and natural. Mostly we use it for external application. Sixth drug in the Sadharan Ras group, mercuric oxide, that is HgO. It is solid at room temperature and pressure, and it is prepared artificially by heating mercury and oxygen at roughly around 350 degrees Celsius by pyrolysis of mercuric nitrate. According to Rasratna Samuchay, mercury, when remains in smaller quantities amidst stroke of big mountain, get dried up and becomes like dried blood, and it is called by Giri Sindura. Giri means rocks and Sindura means which is reddish in color. As you can see in this picture, we can find reddish lines in a rock. So, Giri Sindura. If we compare Sindur and Giri Sindur, color are similar, but Giri Sindur is heavier and Giri Sindur will be shiny. Why? Because Giri Sindur contains mercury, and mercury is always heavy as compared to any other material. So, how to identify Giri Sindur? It will be relatively heavier, it will be shiny, the color only will be similar. The color is red, specific gravity is around 11, very heavy, somewhat soluble and makes it alkaline, soluble in water and makes it alkaline. And it can be adulterated with brick powder or iron powder. But again, the weight of mercury will be heavy. So, Girisindur will be heavier. Grahya Lakshan, Ati Sukshma, Snigdha, Guru, Mrudul, and Vimal. These are Grahya Lakshan of Girisindur. It is used for Shudra Kushta. It is having Tvachya effect, Vrana Shodhanam as external application. It is used by many of Hardved as Bhagna Sandhan, Vrana Ropan. It can be used externally for Pama, Vichachika, Sidma, Visarpa, etc. It is Bhutagna as well and Rakta Dosha Nishudanam. So there are no Shodhan, Maran or Satvapatan mentioned for Giri Sindur. Mostly it is used in the form of Sinduradya Malhar or Sinduradya Tel, and it is easily available in the market. It is mainly used for Shudra Kushta. It is very good germicidal. It can be used for Bhuta Badha and Rakta Dosha. So the next drug is Hingul. I guess we will continue with Hingul tomorrow morning. For now, we can have some discussion if you guys have any doubts about Sadharan Ras drug. Questions from anyone? કોઈને કઈ પ્રશ્નો છે?